Hello everyone. Today this is Firelight Steve. I'm going to show you the tools and the materials that it takes to build these Foreverwick olive oil lamps. And this is the second time, this is the fourth time I have reordered. See this is this box here is a 50-foot. This is a 50-foot roll of copper tubing. It's the fourth time. It's the third time that I've ordered 50 feet because I'm getting kind of low. This blanket was a 6x4 blanket, and this is my carbon felt. It comes in lots of different sizes on the internet, Amazon. Lots of different sizes. So carbon felt, it comes in lots of different sizes, but they're all basically about a 1/4 inch thick. Now this blanket will go thicker in spots and thinner in spots, thinner and thicker. So it's not perfect, and it never will be. So that's why sometimes I have to trim the wicks a little bit so that I can fold them and put them inside the copper tubing. See, sometimes it's thicker, sometimes it's thinner. So you just gotta work with it. You have to work with it. So if it's thicker, you have to cut your wick just a little bit, a little bit narrower, so it'll go up into the tubing. But that's okay. If it's thinner, you have to cut it just a little bit wider in order to get it in the tubing so it doesn't slip out. And you don't want it too tight and not too loose. So that's carbon felt, okay? And tubing. And this is the stuff that air conditioner HVAC guys use. Real soft, okay. And then of course this is my bag of wicks. I fit my inserts inside this. Make sure it fits and stuff. And that's my guide. That's my guide. How long and stuff. See, I cut them up into strips, long strips, whatever, like really long strips. So that's my bag of everything for wicks. Yeah, I got my cotton wicks in there too. So okay, so that's my bag of everything for wicks. So this is my business. This is my business in a nutshell. Okay, and so I use a ruler to cut my wick strips off of the blanket. I lay it on the floor. I got a big cutting board on the floor. My mom gave me that cutting board. It's a real expensive cutting board for cloth. So I'll show you what I use for cloth. Here's my tools. Here's my tools. Hey, everybody wants to see my tools. Okay, so I use one of these to cut the felt because this is wonderful. You put your board or your cutting board down. Let me show you what I've got here behind the piano here. See, this is what I do. That's my board, and then my cloth goes down. See, whatever. That's me. That's me playing around with it. I cut a square out of it. Whatever. and see, I'll put this right to the edge, and then I'll use this cutter right on the edge of this thing, and it's a guide. And it'll give me perfect strips, and voila, you got your wicking. That's your wicks. Okay. Enough about that. So that's the wicks. Now, let's talk about this for a second, okay? This is just a 1x1, like a You buy them at Home Depot, just one by one. And basically, right here, don't pay attention to all this stuff. Just this one hole is all I use. 1.5 inches. Okay, so basically, okay, here, let me put this in a stand so I can use both hands. Okay. Alright. Alright, so basically, there it is right here. Get out of the way, dog. Okay. Basically, so what this is it's an inch and a half. So that's my, according to my tool. I got my tool at Harbor Freight. So according to your tool, so between that blade and where the pipe stops will be 1.5 inches. See, from that mark over. And let's show you which let me turn the light on. My dog likes to play with that ball. It's quite loud. Let me focus this here. See if you can see that. Huh. 9/16. Can't even see it. I don't know. Anyway, maybe I should get my glasses on. Huh. It doesn't like to focus. 9/16. Okay, so now, so what it is you take your 1x1 and you drill with a 9/16 bit your hole. See? Your hole. You drill it down. See? In there. So basically, the hole is only this deep. It's about 3/4 of an inch is all it is. About 3/4 of an inch deep. So by the time your tool fits your wood, it will be 1.5 inches. That's where your cut's going to be on your tubing. Okay, so that's that one. Now. That's number 1 jig. That's number 1 jig, okay? 1.5 inches. Here we go. So that's your first jig. That's how you make your first jig to make your 1.5 inch tubing cut perfect every single time. Okay? That's one. Now, the next one is a jig for rolling your wire. Now, basically, you take and go to Home Depot and you buy one of these things. They're $15 at Home Depot. And let me show you the tag here. Right here. 2-inch by 48-inch wood dowel. Home Depot. Made in Vietnam. There you go. Oh, whatever. There's a barcode and everything. Okay, so what you do is you cut about 6 inches, or let's say, about 5 inches. Cut about 5 inches off. That's all you need. Okay. Now, once you have 5 inches off, and you have it in your hand, it's a nice hand size you can hold, okay? You take All right, let's see if this will focus. It's 11/16. Okay, you take 11/16. Boy, that's having a hard time focusing too, isn't it? The dogs are playing over a ball. Boy, that's having a hard time focusing. There, 11/16. Got it. All right, so you find the middle of your dowel for, I don't know how you find the middle of a dowel, but you just do. And you drill with a drill bit down in the middle of your dowel. And you only go down about, holy cow. I don't know how far you go down. 1/4 inch, 1/2 inch, I don't know. Somewhere in that area. About a 1/2 inch maybe, I don't know. Okay, so about a 1/2 inch, you know. It's not an exact science. It's not an exact science. It's not rocket science, okay? Then what you do is you put this in a vise, and you take your jigsaw. I had a jigsaw, and you turn it upside down, and you cut a groove on the side of your round, right on the side of your round, so that when you put your thing down in there, the wire will be coming out this way, and you can continue your wrap the same way. You'll see this in just a minute. That's jig number 2. Okay, that's basically, that's basically it. Is those jigs like that? I know my Foreverwick candles, lamps, are made out of copper tubing and copper wire. Okay, let me show you the copper wire again. Here we go. Hey, more packing material. That'll be for this order that's going out this morning. We got a nice order this morning for 2 extra large and 2 lamps. Really nice order. I appreciate you guys. This is a really good thing for me and Mama, and I really appreciate your business. So here it is, a 500-foot roll of 14 gauge. Here it is. That's what I use. Brand new out of the box. Never used. See? That's because, see, we're still using this one. See, we're still using it. That's my little jig that I put together to roll it off. If you want to make your life easier, you got to make jigs. That makes your life a whole lot easier. Anyways, so there's that. Okay. So there's that. So you're getting acquainted here a little bit. You can buy these. These here, there's an aluminum rod and a steel rod. Home Depot, I bought, let's see, the aluminum rod was more. It's like $14 or $12 or whatever it is for this. It's a 1/2 inch by 36 inches, aluminum. You can do this 1.5 inches long, and it works. You can do steel, round. 1/2 inch. Round, 2 plain steel. Yep. These cost about $10, $11 at Home Depot. So you can do steel or aluminum or copper. You just need 1/2 inch tubing, and it needs to be 1/2 inch tubing. That's the thing about it. So there's a little bit of like tools and secrets to my business. And yeah, you guys are keeping me going. It's great. And the do-it-yourselfers out there, love you guys, man. 20 years ago, this was under my skin, but a year ago I started this, and it actually took me a whole year to develop this. And I was determined. I says, you know what? I'm gonna make this happen. Little did I know that you guys were gonna order a whole gob of these things. So it turned out to be a pretty good little gig for me. So here we go. You know, you got your wire cutters. I love these things. I love these things, man. These are awesome. You know, you got your felt, your material cutter. It's fantastic for my felt. You know, this will wind my winds. What am I forgetting? I'm not forgetting anything. Pretty sure I'm forgetting something. These are for extra large candles. These are for all the rest of them. You know, you got to make these coppers up. You know. Yeah, there's this jig here, but I'm not going to show you how to make it. Goodness sakes, this is just, you know, a round. My wife, when I'm gone, you know, the round works just as good. She has a hard time with this, you know what I mean? This is just kind of like my thing. It's kind of like my thing. I made it more difficult than what it should be. So, anyways. Well, let me show you one more thing. I think I'm missing something. This is a copper that I use for everything. Okay? And I make these flanges. Oh, that's what I'm not showing you. How to make the flange. You don't have to make the flange. You really don't need a flange to use your lamp, your oil lamp. The only reason I put a flange on there is so that the wire won't slip, past it, so I can lift it up out of the vessel. That's the only reason I put the flange on there. Now, I put 2 flanges on there because it just looks classy, and it looks great, and people love it. And I have a pretty good system. And you know, I'm going to have to show you because I'm showing you everything else. So, I'm going to take you out there, and I'm going to show you how I flange both ends of this copper. Okay? Let's put this back in my bag. Those things are precious. So, let's get busy. All right? I'll pause it. Wait a minute. Let me, just before I pause it, let me show you how I cut it, okay? Just before I pause the video, I'll show you how I cut it, all right? Let's do this then. Here we go. Let's do this. Huh? All right. Let's do this. Hopefully you guys can see this. Here we are. There's this. There we go. This is my jig. Okay. And to roll this off, you just have a flat surface and just kind of roll it down to the flat surface, and that's all you do. You don't want to hit it because it'll smash it. Even just hitting it once, you'll smash it. Even if you push on it, you'll smash it. It's really soft. So here you go. Hopefully you guys can see this. I'm gonna put my jig on like that. Wait a minute. I'm gonna have just enough room where it'll slides on. Here's my jig, okay, the 1.5 inch side. All the rest of the holes don't matter. They were experiments or whatever. All right, and so this goes in all the way like that. Then I slide my cutter up to my board, okay, and while I'm pushing on my pipe and clamping and holding my cutter to the board, I will tighten just a little bit like that, and then voila, I'm done. Okay, now it's 1.5 inches. It's right where I want it to be, and I'll start turning it like that. just like that. It just a few times and it comes right off. It's going to come off right now. Like that. Okay, there's your jig right there, huh? For cutting your perfect 1.5 inch tubing right there. That's awesome. Right there. Now, I cut 40 of these at a time so my wife will have coppers so she can make lamps and stuff while I'm gone. These are fantastic. But I have to make these ahead of time. And I'm going to show you how I go out and flange and put a hole in them. Okay? I'll do that right now. Okay, so what you guys are looking at right there are 2 points. And let me explain 2 points. You guys don't need to do this. This is for me and my business, the way I do my lamps. The way you guys need to do it is you need to get one of these jigs. See? There's your point right there. In order for me to get 2 points, I had to cut 2 of these up. They're $40 a piece. And so, you know, to destroy $40 tools just so I can have 2 points in a jig, that's not very cost worthy. So you just need to buy one of these. They're $40, or depending on where you buy it at. This is what you flange your tool with. If you want to flange your pipe, okay? This is what you use. Now, I'm not going to show you how to use it because that's for you to figure out. I'm going to show you how I do it just for show and tell. Now, there is such a thing as these. I ordered them on Amazon. They're drill bit flangers. And this is what I was using. But I want to tell you something. It doesn't do a very good job, and it leaves a lot of burrs, and it cuts splinters really bad, and it cuts your fingers, and you get a lot of bad bleeds on your fingers and stuff. So not very smooth, not very nice. It's an idea. If you want to get one of these, Amazon somewhere, drill bit flangers. Yeah, they're not very good. They don't work very good. So let me show you how I do it. All right, I've got my drill press here. I got one in the drill press, and then I've got one in the big hole here. See? That's your point right there. I had to destroy 2 of these. In order to get 2 points. That's very not cost effective, but I want to tell you something. It's very cost effective for me. Yeah, look at there. Even the angle grinder. You can see the marks of the angle grinder on the threads. But hey, I've sold over 700 units in 1 year. So yeah, it's very cost effective for me. So that's just me. I'm going to show and tell. Here's how I do this. I drop this down through there. That holds the bottom point. Okay. Then what I'll do is I will marry these 2 together, okay? All right. Anyways, put my thing in there like that. Hope you guys can see that. And I do like to lube it up. A little bit of Vaseline. It works. There we go. Let's make this nice and straight. It has to be totally straight. Okay? Alright, here we go. Huh? Put a little pressure on it. Here we go. Sometimes it only does one side at a time, so I flip it around. See, it's very fast. It's very nice. There's no splinters. I can put my finger on it right away and go like this, and there's no splinters. If you've ever had a copper splinter go into your finger, you know what I'm talking about. Smooth, no splinters. I mean, absolutely perfect. Look at that. Just admire that for a second. That is absolutely beautiful. I mean, beautiful, man. All right, so both sides are beautiful, and I'm going to pick a side, and I'm going to put a hole right there. Okay? Hopefully you can see this. Hopefully you can see it. There we go. Oh, I don't know what size that drill bit is. It's just any old size, just the size of your wire. But there's my finished product. Let's go twist a wire, and I'll show you how I use my other jig. Just look at that beautiful thing. Wow. Is that gorgeous or what? And you know what? You get a quality product when you buy one from me. Absolutely quality. Okay. Enough about me. Let's go back inside. Okay, we're back inside. Now, let's go ahead and get started on showing you how to twist the wire. Just a minute. Let me pause you again because I got to find my perfect